On this special edition of the Best of Love and Relationships Hour, I just need to be honest. This is one of the best things I've done, one of my best products I've produced, and it's really like asking somebody a very big, deep subject that has no practical knowledge, and that's what I think love and relationships is. So I hope you enjoy this. This is going to run over an hour long. Enjoy. You're on the weekly Zoo Relationships Hour. What's a
I know you don't have the voice changer here, but one of the things that I wanted to say is I'm in my 30s and I like a hippie girl. But my
uh-huh.
parents would kill me if I had the hots for a hippie. What should I do?
Screw your parents if you really love her so much. This is the problem with parenting today, modern day parenting. Is he still on? Oh, I just heard a click, so that means he's dropped. The call got dropped. So again, parents who raise children to raise them for different standards and expectations, I'm all for it. But there is a line where when the child becomes an adult, they're going to go a certain direction. And it is the responsibility of a parent to make sure that they are loyal for the children's interest. The parents that are the most loyal to the child's interests have better outcomes than the parents that indoctrinate the crap out of the 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 the, the kids that don't get that are, because I speak with my own experiences that in my certain members of my family, it's implied that you have to be loyal to your parents at all costs. And if you go off the trail, then you're ghosted. So that is something that I do not believe in. And I'm becoming more strong on this because I think there's a huge issue with kids um, um, just being obedient to the family. It's just not right. Let be what it is, but I'm on the moderate end, and these people get their balls chopped on a daily basis with the feminist school systems that hate boys, and now you get the traditionalists that trash the manly culture. That's just like both balls getting busted. And if you don't think it does a number to people on the pervasive developmental spectrum or the ADHD spectrum, you're kidding yourself. And I think guys just get the short end of the stick, you know. And I think it's really sad. And we don't harm. We don't intend to harm. We just don't know what the right standards are because nobody's coming up with standards. And what you were taught in school, what's a
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I was just wondering how young you would go for a lady.
7 year rule might get me to about a decade, and you're looking at the mid
At
20s.
least 10?
Yeah, at least 10 at this point, because it's hard to find somebody my own age. Um, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go with a girl, obviously. Hey, you're breaking up there, Josh. Good goodness. A lot of groundiness on you. Yeah, I would go with a girl in mid 20s. I mean, I feel like I'm in my mid 20s on some days. It's not like it's inherently. But you know, girls like older guys. Anyways, I've been on erotic exceptions on that around with. But Lindsay, speaking of the devil about vaccine, she has the hots for big dick. Lindsay, what say you?
Steven?
Oh God, what do you want
How
from
are
me?
you?
I'm fine.
You make fun of Donald Trump again? On Rose?
Yeah, you gotta get those all three.
You're weird.
I'm weird.
I
Yeah.
love Da Vinci. He's
Uh-huh.
cute and sexy.
Well, yeah, well, you see anti-science, I guess.
His anti-vax agenda is is not an agenda. It's pro safety.
Oh,
He
sure.
turns me on. I'm like you.
Oh,
'Cause you
well.
have autism and you're demented.
Oh, my God, Lindsay. Come
I
on.
have a question.
Oh, really? Chime in.
I I'm meeting this new guy, and it turned out that he is disgusting. He doesn't have manners anymore, and I don't know why I should be around with him. What do you see that is so wrong in this picture?
I don't understand why you're falling for guys that are just badass. If you know he's a badass, you're gonna get a badass. I mean, I think we already.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, Lindsay, I wasn't done with you, but you want to hang up on me? Go ahead, Lindsay. Friendship Tower.
Hi. Um, so I have a 20-year-old son, and he doesn't have respect for the work that I do um, I don't get appreciation from him.
Okay, well, how old is he again? How old's your son?
He doesn't have respect for the work that I do um, I don't get appreciation from him.
Well, I mean, you sound young, so you must have had him young. Is he an adult or how
I'm
is he?
in my early 50s.
You're in your 50s and he's 19. Okay. Um, well,
No, I feel that I put a lot of work to make him feel good that he deserves I deserve some respect.
well, here's the problem, and I'm going to be really honest with you because I could just tell by this call and the context of it. I'm just going to prepare you right now for the real world. Your son's going to say this to your face. He's going to probably say, I hate you, and he's going to probably wish you dead. Because I can tell right now you're very narcissistic, and it may not be, I don't know your situation, but narcissistic parents they're not inherently bad thing or what, but the problem is you have created a really toxic environment with your son. You pushed him into a forced loyalty.
I feel like I should be appreciated.
Well, that's not a part of a job to be a parent. I'm sorry, Joy. It's not by default with kids, they're not going to get it. They won't get it. And if you're trying to push empathy on that part, that's really extremist of you, and you should be ashamed of it. And you should really be ashamed because what happens is you're screwing up, you're corrupting your child, and your child's is gonna have deep hate, or he's gonna be putting boundaries. And if you don't comply with the boundaries, don't be alarmed that he's gonna blow you off later in life. And
I
you,
think you have those answers.
well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Amanda has sent me a message here. Dear Stephen, how are you dealing with the loss of Melanie, and how have you been coping with it? 'Cause your last live stream was very somber. Well, to be honest with you, to be really, really honest with you, there's some days that I have dealt with Melanie, and some other days it's been worse. It was trying to remember today's the 20th. She died on the 30th. Quite honestly, it's like with a breakup, you could still be somewhat in touch. Melanie had zero contact with me when she filed for the legal breakup. But it's one thing when she's gone. The way I've approached it going forward is to kind of celebrate her life, and I do that every day. And I don't think about where she is in afterlife. I really can't because I'm not God. But it's been tough on Sundays. Some of it's worse than others, but um, how she ended her life was let me put it this way. I don't know if I mentioned. I can't remember what I talked about on the show on the 30th, which was literally 12 hours after I found out about her passing. I don't think it was premeditated within days. I think it was within minutes, within the hour. Um, I most people don't put sharp objects on a steering wheel with the intent that they're going to wreck, and because the Melanie Mobile was not totaled. The Melanie Mobile was not totaled at all, which is kind of sucky because it's like, well, who would want to have a used vehicle that had a lot of blood and cuts? I just, the amount of blood she lost precipitously, it was like, oh God, it's hard to think about it. I'm trying to celebrate her life. She ended her life, but I think it's one of the things they say. What would Steve Jobs do? What would Walt Disney do? And I've taken it on the camp of how Melanie would do this. So the question of what it's how she did it. So if for me looking at a new job, Melanie would just go to the phones, make a call, make it happen. Melanie would just stand tall, stand straight, get it done. Melanie wouldn't hesitate to make a decision. And that's the legacy that I carry on. You might see her signature necklace. I'm going to take that. I'm not going to take the cross because it's too close. But the Scuzzy necklace, that was our little bond. She would be a proponent for anything legacy. She was, I mean, she's a techie. She was a techie, and yeah, she. It was funny when I heard her name. We were trying to create a backronym to Scuzzy, right? SCSI, right? And I think we said Stephen Clickford is sexually infinite. I think that was one of her. She was probably drunk on wine that night when she came up with that. But I'm doing just fine. Like I said, some days I might be more grieving than others. I've been through real death. I've been through various types of deaths in the last decade, so it kind of prepped me on how to grieve. But the way she ended, it's almost I have empathy for her, because it was like, we still don't know what led her to her harm. Still can't figure out what the root cause was. And I think all that, it's, for one thing, it's all plain conjecture, right? So you just have to let the fact go, and then you have to go figure out, well, what's the next best thing to grieve. And I will be. I mean, I was kind of grieving when we were broken up. For next on the weekly zoo, what say you? Well, I go and try to find that interesting story. A story I mentioned on your local NBC owned and operated station. Joe, you're on the weekly zoo. What say you?
Hi, so I live with my folks. Go ahead and make fun of me. But I tend to have problems with trying to grow my social network because I get conflicting messages from my parents of, what kind of friends I should be.
Okay.
I'm 29.
Okay, I'm lost here.
I think it's implied.
Hold on. Can you repeat that again? Because I missed it. That your parents are picking and choosing your friends.
Trying to grow my social networks. I get conflicting messages from my parents of, what kind of friends I should be.
Right.
I'm 29.
You're 29. Okay, so
I
why
think it's implied.
implied with what? That oh, I know what you're going at here. I know where you're going at. You're loyal to your parents, aren't you?
Trying to grow.
Hold on. You're loyal to your parents, aren't you?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. You shouldn't be loyal to your parents.
Thank you.
Yeah, you shouldn't be loyal. Apologize about that. A little bit of I couldn't understand the question because my call screener didn't put the specific details. Ashley is next. Ashley is on the weekly zoo. What say you, Ashley? As I still try to find an interesting story that Michael is. Michael finds. I don't want to be liable for going really off the rails because LNRs could get pretty raunchy and often very quickly. Well, speaking about that, we're going to get pretty raunchy right now because before I forget, this was something I forgot here on the zoo here several weeks ago here. Mind you, it's been, God, uh, let's, let me get to this lovely article here from page 6. This was about a month ago now, but like I said, every time I had remembered to talk about Alyssa Milano, I just forgot. So, while I get myself still situated this morning here, and we're gonna have Jordan. We're gonna have Jordan Peterson on. I mean, in air quotes, of course. We're just gonna play some of his calls. We have calls in today's show as well. We shouldn't have any weirdos because the weirdos should be in work or other environment. So we should have tippies. I'm gonna call them tippies for now on. I don't know. Let's see how long that one goes. Tipsies, because typical people could be tipsy too. Hobble into moronic territory here. All right, let's Alright, so the reason why I'm doing the morning zoo here is just because it's the primetime show just gets your blood boiling. I mean, it's a lot of adrenaline. It's great, but you know what sucks? Is you're not up till like 9 a.m. Wednesday morning because you're just so pumped up from the show because the show could get your blood boiled up. All right, let's play some, or let me read you that lovely page 6 story on it because we've been talking about women, pregnant ladies, and other wacky stuff like that, and it's been it's been the ongoing theme here. We had how many calls of. Oh, we had the pregnant and horny guy, and then I was giving you the pregnant and horny advice. And then Michael calls in and talks about the last story the last live shot on CNN on 9/11 that had to do with pregnant ladies. So this thing's gonna be on the reel of the 2021 reel of pregnant and horny and stuff like this. So this was published over a month ago, November 4th, in page 6. It's not the page 6 that I grew up reading, by the way. Alyssa Milano, who looks pretty feminine. I mean, she looks pretty cute looking. And she's on with Erin Burnett about a month ago. My God, she looked like a smoke. She's like my mother's age, which is just kind of weird. Alyssa Milano's experience. Alright, so the headline is Alyssa Milano giving birth reminded me of being sexually assaulted. I'm not going to put judgment here, but boy, this girl needs some help here. Alyssa Milano's experience with childbirth triggered memories, and I'm not trying to dismiss this either. I don't want to make fun of her, but triggered memories of past sexual assault, as she revealed in a new interview. After going through therapy after giving birth to Milo and remembering that one moment of feeling like I was being down and had things being done to me that I didn't want to me, was very reminiscent of being sexually assaulted. Milano, 48, okay, told the People's Podcast, Me Becoming Mom. Who was my favorite chick that I think I liked? If I was watching Charmed, I think I had more hots for Alyssa. The Charmed alum, speaking of the devil, explained that PTSD from sexual assault has a way of living inside you forever. And I can't attest for that, unfortunately. I think anyone who has dealt with trauma has the moments of when you're like, yeah, I'm fine, I've dealt that, versus the moments where you go, oh, no, I didn't. I just tried to tuck it away so no one could see them or I could see them or feel them anymore, she said. She was specifically triggered when she realized that people had access to her vagina when she was giving birth to her daughter. I remembered at one point that not enjoying the fact that lots of people had access to my vagina, she said, adding it, thinking to myself, I don't like this, why does this feel so familiar? Really? Childbirth versus intercourse? Seriously? Um, I never had a baby before. Why is this makes the feeling feel so familiar? She added that there was a fleeting moment, tick in time that I didn't forget, but I didn't forget about it. Milano also noted that the triggering moments of childbirth can also contribute to postpartum anxiety. Well, that is it postpartum per se? She's really cute looking. I mean, the buzz cut one when she was on with Megan Kelly, and then on the Today, that was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. She looked out there, but that's just me. Um, I got I gotta think that the because it felt that way to me, it must have felt that way for other women. I wonder how much of my postpartum anxiety was due, of course, hormones of all things. You have to put that. I mean, being raped would be a contributing factor, but it cannot be the. It's not the cause. It's the correlation. Milano gave birth to her son Milo in 2011, and her daughter Isabella in 2014. She shares kids with her husband David Bugliardi. Okay, well that's good. She's got one partner, right? The actress first came forward about being sexually assaulted. Oh right, she was the and helped the launch of the Me Too hashtag Me Too campaign. She shared the details of the assault that she experienced at a concert when she was just 19. As at a concert of a very famous pop star who told the crowd to get closer to her, then it's resulted in a stampede. People were smashed against each other. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to die. She continued, from behind me, I felt a hand up my skirt. It was punched repeatedly in the vagina. I couldn't turn around. I looked at the stage, and I looked towards the security guards, and I said, "Please help me," and they couldn't help me. And it's those women that yes, I this is where you wonder why we why I'm not trivializing her. I'm just some of it I a little bit skeptical of, not being skeptical of her. Let me just put it that way. Remember before me and Melanie got more serious was I spent about $400 in fiscal 2013 or 2013 I believe. um I was buying my way to female affection, and the way that was that I'd go to a restaurant, freak with the waitress, maybe find a way to ask her out never happened because the gentleman he was a family friend of mine, and he was protective. Even for male natural support, basically that didn't. It was like having a mother, but just he had like the protective nature. And then not to mention, I wasn't really on Facebook at that point. I was off for those few years. So I know I was looking at the wrong places, but this is how you get the female attention. Then you hope that if you frequented American Eagle or Aeropostale or something like that, well, maybe something would happen, right? Not only that, I was trying to apply for some of the jobs that the outlets in the wall and all that, and that didn't work out. So that all happened in the year 2013, and that was a lot of money, and not to mention the subscriptions to Match and all that good crap too. So I did everything to get the affection because I wasn't getting the attention, and the attention away from my parental figures. Like, I am a mama magnet. Like, I can't get away with that. And I am, I just, it's something that I don't care a lot about. And I think, like I said, when I found out, I don't remember where the site was. I didn't copy the URL. It wasn't bookmarked. I didn't have a PDF or even a Mac shortcut. I can't remember where I found it, but I knew it was a female-oriented site. So again, opposition, right? If it applies to girls, it can apply to dudes. So again, it's that. I don't know if I talked about this too, but also social capital. You've heard about that social capital. It was from the 1800s with that sociologist. I can't remember his name. Teresa Bullock here in New Hampshire, the expert on autism. She used him as a reference near the later ends of her life. But one of my problems was I was socially bankrupt, okay? Because any social infraction you made was a charge. So imagine you're carrying a credit card for your social status, and every mistake you made, you had to get charged. And it depended on how big the infraction was, or was it an infraction, but it could just be, you made a mistake, or you flubbed up and you weren't able to forgive yourself, because again, forgiving yourself for your inactions is the MO here in the state. It's very sad to be honest. And so you literally are paying money, right? Because like I said, like you would go to the stores or whatever, just get one or two things, just to kind of like, again, this is probably with the Matt Gaetz saga now, it's probably not okay to do, and I wouldn't recommend doing what I did, to go buy stuff in a store to get a girl attention. It's because it can be considered illegal, right? And I don't encourage people to do illegal stuff. So I did that because I thought, well, maybe this is how I get the attention. And my mother's very protective. And again, when I was a teenager, and I really do say this, like when you're a teenager, well, you're typical or not, it's still critical developmental years. And the moment you get gunk in the brain, and you're like, because I still believe, what I mean I still believe was that the standards for the peak of the developmental brain was 25, but prior to the millennials, it was at 15. I still believe that is still the standard, but the reason why it was changed is we tolerated the slow developmental growth for mostly on the millennial generation. Millennials are slowly getting married and knocked up and having offsprings. Um, but I was getting a lot of mixed messages both at home and in school. I wasn't really taught sex in either. There was variable reasons why that wasn't the case, but for me it was, there wasn't unity. I didn't have a wing guy in my life. I didn't have, again, and it goes back to like why you piss on men, because I didn't have a good male model in my life, and it all began with my father impregnating my mother, who would never accept the presence of this individual. Then 12 and a half years later, Mr. Steph at the middle school in Londonderry, his laser sharp focus on science was and not having that emotional connection to the students on a one-on-one basis, I think just started the ball rolling, where I just couldn't get a male figure in my life, a positive male figure. And while it might change soon or presently, because there are some males in my life, I won't identify you, but it's still, I really do believe the attraction of attractive young bubbly female that has the warmth and personality, who's very attractive. Because again, I'm attracted of all types of women. You would call me a whore and a horny little 34-year-old dude, but in reality, I'm attracted to the personality and the looks, and sometimes the marriage of those two can really be the case. It's hard to find a good girl that has a loving personality, where if the guy wants a hug from you and wants to have some physical, he's either attracted to you both visually and the persona. Because if you guys get along with your personalities, you're probably gonna get attracted to the physical stuff too. And it's just hard to find. And like today, that girl I was talking about a couple weeks ago at Marshall's, I think I saw her again today, because she was shown, not like she was showing off her belly, but skin was showing, and that's the same girl, that curvy, so what, I don't know how to describe a girl. I don't want to do that. She was there, she was sturdy as hell, again, so it's like, again, how am I supposed to, like, if you're a bitch, and you're like, my stuff doesn't smell, I'm perfect of all roses, a guy's not gonna even try to talk. Axe, you're on the Weekly Zoo. What say you, Mr. Axe?
Hi, I want to give you some indirect advice here.
Okay.
There's a day you look at her, and you turn around, and then you look at her again, and she gets a little impatient.
She doesn't
but
like
she's
me.
attractive.
She doesn't like me.
What do you think is going on with her?
She doesn't like me.
What if I told her she was getting turned on by you?
That's
a far-fetched, dude.
That's a far-fetched.
You know what it's like to be an alpha male. You don't know how to turn girls on, but you might be turning girls on and you're not aware of it. When you turn a girl on, you know what happens when you turn a girl on.
No, but it's like, how do you know when you turn on a girl? See, that's the part that you know.
You get, all that.
Yes, but you don't know.
See, you don't know what goes on in a girl. I've been with a girl for the last 10 years.
Oh, really? How long have you been in a
We've been
relationship
in a long
for?
time until a couple years ago. I proposed to her.
Oh, wow. You've been in a 10-year and you just about
The
to
other
marry her?
day.
Oh, wow.
But that's exactly what I want. There was, I got into this girl and she got a little busy because she's getting a little tingly. What I mean?
God, Mr. X, I don't know for sure on that. That's wishful thinking. And on the Weekly Zoo, we do not encourage this concept of I'm gonna do a Google search because I search around. I know I'm logged into Google here, so Google will know what I'm looking for. How to tell if you turn to tell if you had turned on a woman in the past tense, right? The main signs of female arousal: cool, your breasts gets fuller, but if you weren't push up, how do you know? The nipples hardening, okay? Well, I don't know about that. Your heart rate and breathing gets faster. The swelling, yeah, right. Having an orgasm, that'll be the only time that you tell. You tell when a girl's turned on. Oh, Planned Parenthood. uh, the Weekly Zoo Relationships Hour. What say you, Mr. X? Play me out here. Come on.
Hi.
Hello.
There's this girl that I like who works in a neighboring office, but we don't work for the same company. How should I ask her out? I'll take her question off the air.
See, this is why I do the relationships hour, because I honestly don't know what a relationship is supposed to be. Because I really haven't had, I sucked at romance, sucked at infatuation, sucked at friendships, sucked at family. So this is why I do the show here. Well, what my suggestion would be is if you find the girl. So if you're working, I'm assuming it's like an office building, multiple use, right? I would just say, hey, you want to go for a coffee where if there's a Starbucks or whatever, or just meet. If you know where she goes, meet up, and then like kind of without being a creep, obviously. Maybe you'd be able to get her. But to all those people that say that that girl that not girls, but the coworker relationships, I think it's a load of crap. I mean, there's some YouTubers. I mean, again, I should just kill my YouTube account because it's so poisoned with misinformation. But there's this one YouTuber that's saying that you shouldn't be friends with your coworkers at all because you gotta have a professional relationship. If anything about professionalism, we've gone too far to the point where we desensitize ourselves. Michael, you're next on the Weekly Zoo. What say you, Michael?
Hey, so I wanted to follow up on the aunt.
Yeah?
The aunt, oh my God, she's trying to get every way. I think she's trying to create an alias to follow me on social. And I don't know what to do now. Like, do I just totally dump my Facebook or what?
I wouldn't. I would
Oh, and then
I'd be careful on that because I don't think that will get you places because then the aunt's gonna find you again, right? So it wouldn't make any sense. Michael, you're on next on the Weekly Zoo. Let's say you're Michael.
Hey, you! God, the girls are on you tonight.
I know.
What's your name?
Yeah, it's an 0 and 2. There's no other girls on the show. You need to get more girls. The ladies need to call the contest line, the affirmative action number to get the girls. Because we're kidding, mostly males on the show. Go on.
What's the latest with this girl that you talked about on your show back in July?
Well, I just happened to see her yesterday at another mall.
Really?
Yeah, she's working at a push cart, in Manchester. And so, I've gone to what she calls the lemonade stand as well. Um, I've been there at least a handful, more than that. I found out that she's a mother of three that lives there now. Yeah, well, I don't know about the kids though. I mean, I know she's got two twins and an 8-year-old. The twins are 5 and the kids are, um, the other child is 8. I don't know the genders offhand. I don't know if she's single. I've not seen any hit on my platform.
Get out!
But yet, but other than that, she's been really conversational with me. It was kind of weird because, like I said, I gotta tell you how I did a double look on her. I was going to one of the stores that was planning on applying, and I saw her, and
Get out!
yeah.
Nice!
Yeah, and so I approached to her, at I approached her when I was walking back. So I saw her when I was heading to the store. Then I saw her walking by doing the double look, and she just recently dyed her hair purple. So it was like literally to the point where I could like put a Pantone color to it. It's very like it's very signature. So I said, "Hey, I recognize you from somewhere." So she just started.
Cool!
Yeah, and so she just started working there.
Get out!
Yeah, and so,
Nice!
yeah.
You're such a lucky dude. You should go for her.
I don't know if I should, but like I said, her site. I mean,
I think you're gonna be a badass.
well,
You should go for her.
well, I have to make sure she's single, right? She's interested, right, Michael? I mean, come on.
Okay.
Slide to our next caller. Ren is on. Lisa, I think you're a new caller. What say you, Ren?
Hey, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship status with God? And what do you think about creation, evolution, stuff like that? I'll take your question up there.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that question. It's only a matter of when, right? So basically, to answer your question directly, I believe there is something between creationism and evolution. So I know this is really simplified, but basically, you know, flies and other wild, things, they it's like a germ, right? Like I'm thinking like fruit flies, right? How do fruit flies and stuff come along, or beings of that type, right? And I think there's something to be said about that with humans. Do I think humans have evolved? Yes. Is there evolution amongst the human race, or the creation and evolution? I think it's a little bit of both. When it comes to God, I do think there's a God that does exist, that is something of higher power. Do I think he's looking out for me? The answer is probably not. That's all you need to, if that's all you need to know about, I mean, if all the stuff I've talked about in my life, I think that should tell you right there all you need to know. Um, I just, I don't think God looks out for everybody. Um, I'm not saying I'm worshiping Satan, but I think it's interesting that you bring that up because one of the
I like that previous call that you had with the guy, I mean, the girl trying to turn on the guy, because I've always, I never really knew how to turn a guy on, but it sometimes, I guess, takes another agenda to take a different look on it.
Hey, what's your point? Because I don't know where you're going at.
Yeah, so I've been together with a boyfriend for about 6 months, and he's all of a sudden getting chicken little on me, and I don't know why. I mean, our relationship has been based on dates. We haven't really hung out. What would the rationale be?
Well, it depends on the situation because how many dates
Yeah,
have
it's
you
been
had?
6 months.
It's been 6 months. How many dates have you been out?
Maybe 10.
So it's been mostly on dates? Has it been mostly on dates?
Not really. Okay.
Right. Okay. Well, I think right now, I think the problem is you don't have enough boundaries in your relationship to define your relationship, I guess. All right, this show is brought to you by the committee to stop boners because natural reflex of sexual arousal must be damned in this post Me Too era. Oh God, I have this lens flare here on the shot here. Boy, the light is I don't know why it's causing that. Where is that lens flare? It's hitting, I think, on the camera. No, not the ThinkPad. All right, you'll see a line through me. It must be Illuminati. Alrighty, so you're pregnant, you're expecting, and you're horny. Do we still have that kind of...
Hey, what's up?
The sky?
So my Mary is really horny, and she's pregnant.
Wow, she's horny and
Yeah.
pregnant?
So she wants me to bang every night.
Oh my God, that is...
I don't know if I can do this.
I can't imagine if you do this. How many months in? What'd she do?
No, she's a horny little bitch. She wants to bang. She wants...
Okay, she wants to bang. All right, what'd she do? Or how many months in?
She's halfway through her second trimester.
Oh my God, she wants more sex. Wow, I feel bad.
Yeah, my girlfriend's just horny.
I feel bad for the kid because if the kid gets born, he's gonna probably have a lot of hormonal issues when he becomes a teenager.
Okay, you don't have anything to help me?
I don't know. Maybe she has to go do some porno. Release all those hormones. Wow, she is... All right, thank you for the call out. But In Style, of all publications, has some advice for you sexually aroused females who are reproducing. Oh, God. You knew sex was going to be part of the weekly Zeus R&R. It was just only a matter of when, right? Help, I'm pregnant. Oh, God. You know, I love this hour. I like to talk about horny stuff. Help, I'm horny and pregnant. I'm pregnant and horny, so it's perfectly normal for pregnancy to kick your sex drive into high gear. Here's what you need to do before getting it on. Dear Dr. Jen Mann, I'm 4 months pregnant and horny as hell. This is an InStyle, InStyle.com, kids. My husband is psyched that I'm so turned on, but is getting stressed about sex and hurting the baby. Yeah, that makes sense if the man's on top, right? Is that a thing? Is there anything we need to worry about? there is no way I'm going to make it through the next 5 months without serious action to help pregnant and horny. Dear pregnant and horny, when it comes to pregnancy and sex, most women I know are one extreme to the other. Either they're in a place where they don't want to be touched because so often having side effects like nausea, back pain, sore breasts, and sensitivity in general, or they're hornier than ever. Have you ever wondered that you're part of the second camp? Most women who are in your group had the best sex of their lives during pregnancy. If you watch the live stream, the picture kind of got lost. Let me try to refresh the page here because this is a good file photo. The woman looks like she's 4 months pregnant and is about to do it. Sometimes a big belly could get in the way of a good time, so make sure you experiment with different positions so that you're comfortable while doing the deed. Some positions that are particularly successful for the pregnant lady are women on top, side by side, spooning, or sitting on the edge of the bed. But in general, pregnancy sex is safe and extra sexy, but don't be afraid for going for it. But I wonder about the unborn baby, if the baby gets horny when he gets the puberty. It makes me wonder. I wonder if there's studies about a horny mother makes a horny offspring. Hormones are raging. Why is pregnancy sex the best? Hormones are raging in a good way. During pregnancy, there's an increase of estrogen, progesterone, human placental lactogen. I can't even talk. And most importantly, libido and testosterone. And just like puberty, when your hormones are acting wild, and your desire and your ability to keep it in check goes wild too. You're feeling sexy. Some women feel very in touch with their female energy and sensuality during pregnancy. Your body changes in a lot of unexpected ways during pregnancy, but for so many people, fuller breasts and sudden curves can feel all sexy and exciting. Number 3, blood is flowing to the area. During pregnancy, there's an increase of blood supply to the uterus, cervix, and vagina, basically the female version of getting an erection. Remember the girl boner blog I talked about? This increased supply makes your genital area more sensitive and becomes more easier to become lubricated. But you probably already knew that considering your call for help. We're not even done with this yet. Make the most of it. Your partner is excited. A male client once told me having sex with his pregnant wife, especially excited because he got to play with new boobs. He said like it was having an affair without guilt. Oh God, there's a lot to unpack with that particular fantasy. Oh God, I got copy and paste this. Your view. Having your partner excited about your body is often a turn on. You're connected. You're sharing this amazing new bond together. This new life of you connects in a profound ways that can lead to deeper and meaningful sex. Okay, why this freaking JavaScript crap? Okay, come on. Different things turn, again, the novelty factor is huge. You may be excited by activities, positions, or fantasy that don't normally do it for you. Keep in mind, communication is important during pregnancy since sex is so much different. New things may feel great or terrible, but didn't used to. No, birth control worries. I don't think we need to talk about that. Although we stick it out during pregnancy, oral sex, which is safe, anal sex, sex toys, okay. All right. Because I'm short, right? So I sleep in in a teenage-sized bed, right? Will there be a queen and a king-size bed in my life down the road? And I'm going to be honest with you, even without sex, because again, I'm getting old and I know I'm not getting any younger, but just harmonically, I hate to say, it's, that's why I counter a lot of Courtney Ryan's content, because it's it's unfair, it's unjust because it's just singling people out, and that's what we've been dealing with society for the last 5 years is just singling out one group to attack the other. And I have the journalist mindset of offend everybody, and for me, as I get older, it's like, well, am I gonna ever get used to? Because when not that I sleep next to my mother, but we would have two beds in our hotel room, and it's a little bit weird sleeping to another human, sleeping with another human in the same room because you're snoring or their sensitivities or your sensitivities. It's like just imagine that with a relationship, just sleeping, not in the sexual sense. That's a whole nother dimension. And that's something, if you're not exposed to that by a certain age, it will be almost like learning a foreign language. And sadly, I'm getting to that point in my life where it's becoming more apparent that I'm probably not going to have somebody in my life, and it's going to probably be dating and casual because it's a time 10 to 7 to 10 years ago, but just people just can't be bothered, and it reminds me a lot of the scene in Wall-E where the little hopeless robot was trying to get himself out there, and he was gentle. Okay, I'd rather have dudes that are assertive than aggressive. And while he was just like saying hi or whatever, I got Wally up on my shelf, and he's just being non harmless. And I think there's a lot of, if you're a guy that relates to Wally or relate to me, please comment this, because I know it's watching it right now, the live stream. But if you're watching this on a late later on, just let me. And I want to explain the reason why my relationship. I talked about the relationships. I talked about my soon-to-be ex and the corrupt court system. I can't go on for days to tell you how corrupt the court system is. And it was arbitration, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned this to anybody. It was supposed to be arbitration, which means no discovery. But guess what? All my emails, all my documents, whatever, could be used as daggers. Because that's how Melanie wanted to make sure I was non-existent after the breakup. But I want to tell you a really important story in my life, and I had made some sketches on my Sketchbook Pro app on my iPad, because I don't know if I had it and I updated it, or I forgot if I've had it for a while, but I made a couple SketchUps, and I think this kind of goes against these these manosphere portals, which these people are just a joke. The people are talking about men, women, men, and we gotta use the biological adult identifier on every breath possible, right? So I want to talk about why I basically got the girl struck. What I said when I was 15 in high school. At Glecca, obviously. The girl struck syndrome. And that just means you're girl crazy. But I did a research like about a decade ago, because I was living here in town, and I found it on the other side, on a girl-related, teenage girl-related site. So it's almost like you could apply it to guys, or guys that are soy boys or something like that. That's what Joey from Fake 87 probably would say. But the girl crazy or girl struck or boy struck and boy crazy syndrome can be a very negative thing. So I posted this on my Instagram. Girl struck or girl crazy, or I think on my Facebook, I forget now, is a thing where a guy chases after girls, or can be a desperate act of love and female affection. When a guy gets repeatedly hurt, the pain can be life altering and worse, unrepairable. Dads are not teaching daughters how to identify male to female attraction. Happy Father's Day to you, jackasses that are not teaching your daughters how to respond to heterosexual attractions. And not only that, but when you use, I think I used DuckDuckGo. Yeah, I used DuckDuckGo to search pictures of male, right? That was the search term. It was all these alpha dudes, okay, 6-pack abs. That is not men. Men get a bad name because they have felt entitled and have not been able to share the power and status. Men lack empathy, lack emotion, and abilities. Men analyze, are extremely logical, and you diss other people's concerns. Really bad people. A lot of them, not all of them. Men need to be reminded that they are not special. They have to listen and must possess empathy. And so as I, been more aware, because again, I have to remind the audience here that when you put the developmental disorder in the mix, it gets really, really, like, it just magnifies the problem by like 20-fold. Okay, so COVID, where we had to stay at home, or when I got COVID, I had to basically quarantine. Okay, I already felt isolated, socially isolated for 20 years, spiked up. And I'm supposed to feel bad for typical people? At least you had the ability to have the affection. You probably have gone through 3 or 4 boyfriends or girlfriends. Turned on for sex, but what? 5 signs to tell she definitely wants sex. But no, it's hot and hungry. 6 signs of a female sexual arousal. Girl boner with an R. An R symbol. Oh my god. Oh, I can't do this either. Let me see if I can bypass the security here. Do you remember the first time you were sexually turned on? I don't, but I recall when my internal crush struck, butterflies began flapping their wings during grade school, and boys simulated more giddy perspiration and disgust. Then something foggy and confusing known as adolescence happened. During high school, I remember feeling insanely turned on by my first serious boyfriend. Even when the relationship became sexual, I had a little clue about the specifics of what I was feeling. The unquestionable mix of curiosity, intrigue, and super charged hormones I quickly called love. To learn more about female sexual arousal, listen to August on Girl Boner Radio. Oh, God. Confusing lesser general warning. Oh, God. For emotional content and love mistakes are many of us early on. How we differentiate what us scarcely understand our sexuality at all. All right, let me get to the points here. We start fascinating. Okay, we have wonton eyes. There's a reason hungry eyes is one of the most sexually arousing shows. That's a Dewey ZID song too, according to a Spotify study. God. Alright, let's just go down to number 3. We wanted Jesus, I just dropped my giggling here is so weak, please. God. uh, during our comfort level personality, you might use words subtly or over such God. It's like, God, I'm feeling horny right now myself. Or essentially, you say, I want sex. If there's any confusion about your arousal, oh God, talking is argumentatively the most powerful tool for clarification. Oh God. Make sure you keep your words positive when communicating your arousal to your partner. We reach out and touch. Reach out and touch someone. Oh, someone's horny at the bell system for that. Wow, my freak. This one also varies with personality. A topic I will likely explore. Uh, touching a partner in intimate places and areas not often touched by others, such as the inner thigh, or touching his hand or cheek, shows a turn on. If we venture into the crotch area, neon flashing lights with a smiley, excuse me, a wink smiley, we arch our backs. The mere thought that we want makes me to par. Many of us naturally arch our backs during arousal, which again shows their boobies, don't they? Which exaggerates particular central body parts such as our rears and breasts. This also come either physique that turns both parties on. This can all happen during foreplay, sex, and even casual exchanges such as chatting with your lover. We lick our lips, blush, and moisten. As we discussed in Girl Boner physiology, the female body turn on. Our bodies work all kinds of magic in the form of what is and swelling as we move turn on from the lovemaking and ooh la la orgasm. Ay, wow. Uh, I gotta check out this website. I'm gonna share the link here on the chat. Ugh. God, that was that. Oh my lord, am I laughing like I here?